Thank you, everybody. It's been a pleasure and a blessing to address you all today. Over the last 10 years, I have met and spoken to hundreds of startup founders and vulnerable entrepreneurs like you, and I want to share some of my thoughts today. All I request you to do is to have an open mind so we can proceed further on my speech. Let me step back a few years more and give you a glimpse about my childhood days. When I was playing with my neighborhood friends, I used to hear a lot of voice about Tata, Birla, Ambani, and things. Whatever we do, people tell, are you Tata or Birla? Whenever I pay some money extra to some candy fellow, my mother will ask, are you Tata Birla? So this was the time I came to know about who is Tata Birla. I mean, what is there for them to do it in my childhood life? I mean, that's the time I know about all the business and entrepreneurs. I just thought someday I need to at least get 1% of what Tata Birla. At least my city should tell me at least Chota Tata. I have that reason even from the childhood days. So back then I really did not think that I would have been able to achieve many of the things I eventually have been now. Many successful entrepreneurs are like that. They really did not set out to become the giants that they eventually become. Do you think Larry and Sergey dreamt of the Google that is today? Definitely not. They had a common sense to hire Eric Schmidt, who helped them to make that happen. So my first lesson for you all entrepreneurs is to not to go out and hire people with similar skills that you have. You should be a wise king who surrounds himself with an able minister. You should definitely choose your founder who is having a complementary skills, and also the employees who is having a complementary skills. My second lesson is probably, sorry, I mean, you are all intelligent fellows. I don't want to teach lessons to you guys, but I think this guy wants me to tell something to you, so pardon me. People are speaking about value proposition. My second lesson is to be on value proposition, or as you shortly call it as value prop. See, when I see a lot of techies come to pitch to me, they are emphasizing their pitch more on futures. When they pitch to me, I ask them to focus on value. What is the value that they and their product or services that bring to the table? But they forgot everything. They speak everything else, and it was very confusing to me to listen to them. I mean, at the end of the day, they don't speak value. They just speak about their futures and all. So that was a pity thing about the techie founders. See, basically, what we need is a good gel between the founders to know the strength and thing. That's how you start a business. I mean, when you go for a pitching, you need to understand what you want to speak with VCs. Otherwise, first impression is the best impression. Otherwise, you can't get back there. So I was also, attending. I'm SLP fellow, Startup Leadership Program fellow last year. You can visit startupleadership.com. One of the founders has been pitched to us, and he was complaining about. He was asking a question. I mean, I have been pitched to a lot of VCs, but I am not able to. VCs are not able to understand the pitch. He had been pitched to 5 to 6 VCs. The problem is he's not able to communicate his value proposition properly. See, Charles Kettering has said, a problem well stated is a problem that is half solved. So better you explain your value prop better. That way you can able to get your customers in. That means first customer is a funder. So now on to your third lesson. I want to use Bhagavad Gita for some reasons. Many startup CEOs and founders are too much attached to their original vision and do not let go. Sometimes I'm also guilty of this. However, adoption to change is the biggest change that you may have to make as an entrepreneur, especially if the product is not gaining the traction that you are expecting. Vasamchi jirhani yata vihaya navani grahanati naro aparani tata sarirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyati navani. It is easy to say versatility and adoption are the key to success. But the biggest lesson for any entrepreneur is to learn to change as quickly as possible. Do not get stuck with your initial vision. You need to learn, adapt, innovate, and improve on your new opportunities. You need to pair your journey like a traveler who is not attached to the city he visits or the hotel he stays, but he enjoys the experience of it all. Do not be adamant, be innovative, open-minded, and ready to absorb experiences like a sponge. The faster you adapt to a change, the better it is. Remember, change is the only constant. Before getting deeper into my entrepreneurial journey, I would like to talk about 6 principles of life that I attempt to follow. Let me reiterate. These are my principles, and I would love to take this offline with anybody who is interested. My guru and mentors taught me this, and I intend to pass them along. This is how the rishis in the ancient and wonderful country of ours, Bharat, passed on the wisdom of the Vedas. That is what one of my companies, Vedic Folks, is based upon, rekindling the interest of young folks like you in the Vedas and using it as a management science. Listen to benefit all. I'm also a founder of iYantras. You can see the holding. It's an artificial intelligence startup based on Chennai and Boston. Other companies are realtyfolks.com. It's a realty advisory firm. Laksasa, a vacation rental startup. Besides being an investor to a few of the companies, one of the investment is in US for one of the friend who is into Neonatal, and another investment recently been done with Snack Experts, a leading B2B snack brands based out of Chennai. They already had an initial first round of investment. I have made it in the second round. So here are my 6 principles as an entrepreneur. You can even note it down if you want. I used to meditate daily for 15 minutes. Meditation helps us to make sure our intelligence and consciousness take care of our thoughts and mind, so our senses can be under control and we can make better decisions the whole day. So do a meditation for 20 minutes at least on a daily basis. And my second point is, which I follow, eat vegetarian food if possible. At least eat less, not eat less or not eat heavy. Eat a balanced food, not Red Bull. Absolutely, you should not drink Red Bull. You need to eat juicy, wholesome food, yes, that will increase your longevity and strength. You should not eat bitter, pungent, salty and sour foods because it will bring distress, misery and diseases to the life. You should not eat tasteless, decomposed and foul-smelling foods because it brings delusion, indolence, inactivity and also tamas, ignorance. And the third point, you might argue on this, you need to understand the time and space rule, which act like the wheel of fortune game. Okay. You should not pressurize yourself if time is not in the favor. You will need to invest quickly when you have a good time and move cautiously when you have a bad time. This means you should be aware of trends before they become trends and when to exit or sort your dreams or stocks. Fourth point, understanding of 3 gunas. We have 3 gunas in a mixture of everyone. Sattva, Sattvic, Rajas and Tamas. A mixture of Sattvic and Rajas in a right proportion will make an entrepreneur to achieve worldly excellence. Even Forbes listed billionaires. You need to mix Sattvic and Rajas in a mixture. I think you need to read about it. You can read. Another key component is to understand the 4 Purusharthas. They are Dharma, righteousness, Artha, prosperity, Kama, pleasure and Moksha, liberation. You need to perform Dharma and there is nothing greater than Dharma. You need to maximize your Artha, that is money and wealth, but following the path of Dharma. You need to satisfy your desire, which is not against the Dharma, because desires lead to attachment and bondage. This will cause everyone to act. Moksha, I am speaking about moksha in a different angle. Moksha is to release all your attachment to desire and be a conscious entrepreneur where you attract everything, but without any desire of needing that. The cosmos, when you do that, the cosmos will give you what you need, but you should be in the state of not needing that. That's a different technique. If you want, I can speak offline. A small point here, a Purusartha, what we are discussing, the Purusartha is a combination of Purusa and Artha, which means finding a purpose. Many of you have probably heard of Rick Warren's book, The Purpose Driven Life, which was published in 2002. It has probably sold about 40 million copies by now. But our Vedas, which has been given to us few million years before, it is just that we are willing to embrace Western concept quite easily, but ask a million questions about our own ancient wisdom. I humbly request some of you to take a second look with an open mind. You will be amazed. It is almost that we are embraced about our heritage. The Netherlands has introduced Bhagavad Gita and made it compulsory for the students in the 5th grade. Yet here we are debating endlessly. I follow few of the values that has been mentioned by Lord Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Absence of pride, freedom from hypocrisy, non-violence, tolerance and simplicity like Rajiniga, service to the teacher, cleanliness, steadfastness, self-control, dispassion, absence of ego, reflections of sufferings of life, death, old age, disease and distress, non-attachment, self-realization, search for ultimate truth and so on. In essence, it's all about self-management. Basically, we need to know ourselves first. Self-realization is the important thing for any entrepreneur, okay? Not only entrepreneur, for everyone. Intelligence should control your thoughts, and this will protect yourself from being dragged by the wild horses of your sense organs and their actions. This brings me to the 4th lesson and the second from the Bhagavad Gita. Tasmat asakta sadalam karyam karma samachara asakto hi acharan karma param apnoti purushaha. Inculcate the habit of being open to everything and being attached to nothing. Attachment does give strength to the work and love beyond ourselves, but it also limits us and make our journey and growth very difficult, especially if the object of our desire is taken away from us. Too much desire can be bad as it turns into greed. Greed takes you away from your true calling and dream, but is to achieve, create or innovate. Do not be super attached to your work as it makes your journey as an entrepreneur difficult and closed. You cannot wear binoculars and run the rat race. You have to keep an open mind about the ever-evolving market changes, adapt to them, keep a close eye on your goals, but do not get obsessed. I would advise everybody here to go out and find a mentor. Mentor is very, very important now as a budding entrepreneurs. You need to choose a right mentor, go in a spiritual. If you want a spiritual, you can, at least in your material life, professional life, choose a right mentor for you who can guide you. Because somebody that you can rely on in your hard times, you need to rely on somebody who for a guidance with experience, like startup experts. You can also seek his guidance. People like him, plenty of people available across India and globe. You can choose any of your mentors. So basically, I want to also emphasize how I work on a regular basis in my business. I execute multiple ideas. I have almost 7 startups running here and there. I'm not getting funding. I'm a bootstrap. I get funding. I fund myself. I grow myself, put my own money. But I also invested in 2 of the startups. Second round in 1 startup. See, the main thing is I manipulate time and timing with my Jyoti skills as a tool for decision making. That way I can able to do manipulation with the time and timing. I think that's a skill we need to talk about. I will take calculated risk, not rapid like the risk what nowadays VCs are investing in Flipkart and Snapchat. It's a hard-earned money. So, I will shut down my business if it is not going well for 6 months, profitable. I will shut down the business because I will not focus. Because I have multiple business, I will get up to me another idea and another idea. So I will implement all ideas at the same time. So, and whenever some new ideas come, I will implement. I will put team on it. I will execute. 6 months, nothing growing, I will close it up. I will go on to another idea. See, because any business that is not going worth of 6 months without any profit, it's not worth it all to try because your life is just 60 years. You can't try everything in the university. You can't waste. By the time you can go and work for someone, earn in lakhs, IITians get lakhs. So I follow key metrics for all the different businesses and different metrics. I follow each metrics because I need to manage my time with the team. So my advice to you all guys, you don't need huge money to run your business. You need to follow your customers' need. then money will follow. Second thing, you should not run big in the investors. You should not run big in the investors. You should create a value. You will be an investor in future. Believe it or not, if you have a right strategy, I am a standing example for you. And become a conscious entrepreneur. If you want, I will train you how to become a conscious entrepreneur. And thank you all for the wonderful opportunity to share a few things with you. My parents, in-law, wife and son have been a great source of support and encouragement to me. When you start focusing on your startup, do not lose sight of your family. Make sure you set aside some fixed time for them. God bless. Jai Shri Krishna.
You have some questions?
Any questions? I can answer. But don't ask
Anybody
questions
from
of funding.
Any questions?
So talking about the change, the adoption change, does it mean that you change your vision, or does it mean that you change your implementation?
At times, if it is not work, you need to change your vision also, because you need to make money.
But it's a vision which sets you apart from the market, and having that individuality in the market is, your biggest value proposition.
See, if you have a right vision, but if it is not executable, then there is some problem in kind of your strategic objectives and the goals which you have, and the right mixture of team you need to have. You need to see startups to startup basis. I can't answer this question.
Sir, you were talking about value propositions in the beginning of the speech. Sir, so what about creating false demand? Coke does it, the cosmetics brand do it. They have a huge profit margin because of that, because of the advertisements, because of the marketing. So what about creating this false demand into the minds of the market?
See, if a false demand has been created and it is accepted by the market, then the market is not viewing it as a false demand. The majority of the market. Coca-Cola has manipulated it, and it seems they are advertising it as a. See, everybody knows it's not a healthy, but we are even drinking Red Bull right now. We know that it's not healthy. See, it depends on their value proposition is to push to you. It's up to us. They are successful because they're booking their value proposition properly. They are marketing well. You need to appreciate Coca-Cola and Pepsi for not having that worth of having the good value proposition and fooling all of us. You should appreciate them, right? Because everybody knows it's not good, but they're doing it well. That means they have a very good value proposition. They have done what they want to do. Thank you.
Any more questions? One more question you can ask, please. Anybody with them? Yeah.
Sir, you're talking about change. So, is the change essential that it should be in company premises itself, or it should be in the case where you are changing your whole idea?
See, basically, first one. Okay, you need to first you need to decide on your whatever. See, everybody has a lot of ideas. Okay, you need to first, if you are okay with your idea and if you find there is a good market demand, that's the first criteria. Okay. After that, what's the next question?
Sir, I was asking that if you are attached to an idea, sir, so is it you need to change the whole concept, or you need to sort difficulties in the idea?
Your idea needs to be validated. If the idea is validated, then you need to execute that idea. You don't need to change, right? See, why you want to change it? Are you feeling that market is not getting your idea properly?
Sir, I am asking a general question.
Then I can't answer it, right? Because it's a general question. I see. Probably you need to case to case. It needs. It depends. If your idea is worth enough to make money and customer is accepting it, you can even like Coca-Cola and Pepsi. They are doing it for years, right? You can implement this.
Sir, you are running 7 startups now. How do you multitask?
That's right. I mean, I watch only core metrics, right? I have key metrics. I'll have a strategy meetings and I watch this.
Sir, what is following key metrics, sir?
Pardon?
What is about following key metrics? What is
These
it
are key
about?
performance indicators like revenue per grow, revenue per employee, revenue per grow. Each business is having each metrics, right? Some will be operatively heavy, some will be, it depends on the business, right?
Yeah. So we can take all the questions offline. And thank you so much, sir. And I hope that everybody has mentioned and wrote the key metrics that sir have told and the mantras of being a successful entrepreneur. Sir, now I would like to call Mr. Vijay Krishna.
Thank you.
So he'll be talking more about his experience in entrepreneurship and